Hello, welcome back to my channel. So sorry I didn't post a video last week. I've been really busy with teaching at my school, and that kind of was my first priority. But now that I'm back, I wanted to talk about some of my experiences from the past couple of weeks. Last weekend, I took a trip to Montjuïc Castle, and that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The castle to me reminded me more of like a fortress than the medieval castle that I had in my mind. But it was active from 1640 until about 1940. It has a bit of an infamous history, actually. At various times, the castle's cannons have actually fired on the city of Barcelona to punish different revolts or just to punish behavior that the Spanish government didn't like. The castle has also held a lot of different prisoners over the years, and notably during the 1936-1939 Spanish Civil War, it held a lot of prisoners, and there was a lot of torture and even shooting of some of the political prisoners within the castle. In more recent years, the fortress has just become a museum and was actually renamed the Military Armor Museum in 1963 by Franco. Nobody in Barcelona really calls it that, though. Everybody refers to it as just Montjuïc Castle. And it's really become a cultural hub for a lot of people where people can come to hang out and to check out the great views and also to check out the museum and the history of the place. There wasn't really anything going on in the courtyard the day that I went there, but the courtyard and the surrounding area around Montjuïc, there's always live music and plays being put on, and again, just sort of becoming this cultural hub, which I think is really nice to, retake that history of Montjuïc and to turn this infamous thing and turn it into something that's, applicable to the modern age and that people can really enjoy. And like I said before, the views can't be beat. It's right on top of the city, so you can look out and see everything. And there's these great these great cable cars that take you up to the top. And yeah, it's just a good time and a good sight to see. My next adventure brought me to another mountain, but this time it was to Montserrat, which is about an hour and a half away by train from Barcelona, and is the home of a 14th century abbey. To get up to the abbey or to the monastery, you had to take another cable car ride, which I get the impression Barcelona is big on. And the views, again, were just crazy. Montserrat is about 1,200 meters or about 4,000 feet tall. And on top of having the monastery, it's also a cultural hub for rock climbers, hikers, and outdoors people. This is the basilica, which is the main building for the monastery. And inside the basilica, it houses something called the Black Madonna. This Black Madonna is one of the most famous in the world. It was actually declared by Pope Leo XIII to be the patroness of Catalonia. And she's also sometimes referred to just simply as the Virgin of Montserrat. You can see here people will touch the globe that she holds in her hand, which represents the universe, and they will say prayers to the Virgin Mary or to Jesus. And obviously this is an active church, this is an active monastery. I was there on Sunday, so there was actually a mass when I arrived. But like I said, Montserrat isn't just the abbey, isn't just the monastery. The mountains around it are incredible. I only stayed at the abbey for maybe 2 hours, and then I decided to go out on the trails that were leading up the mountain. Along the way, there were some hermitages, which I'll show you here in a minute, but the view on top was insane. I was above cloud level, and so there was just this nice fog, this clouds that were rolling up through the mountains, and of course the view, all around was just totally worth the hike. These are the hermitages that I was talking about. There were several of them all along the way, and they used to be active places where hermits would live. And honestly, I'm a little bit jealous of them. I would love to live on the top of those mountains just for the rest of my life. Seems like a really peaceful living. But yeah, I wanted to show you this here. This was the way up. There was just these really steep stairs that were really slick from the fog kind of rolling through. And you just had this like small rope to hold on to. And this honestly was pretty much the whole way, just steep inclines and small steps, but totally worth it. I would highly recommend going to Montserrat. Probably one of the best things I've done on the trip so far. But yeah, I can't wait to see what else Spain has in store for me. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on everything that happens. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Thank you so much.